Yes. Okay, so I'm going to make it right now. So we're going to do exponents first. So we have 6 as our base, and then we have 3 as our exponent. It does not mean 6 times 3. It means the base times the base times the base, however many times the exponent tells us to multiply. So this is 6 times 6 times 6. So you're going to do 6 times 6 is 36 times another 6. So it's 216. So you can see these numbers get very big very quick. So that is what you do for an exponent. For multiplying fractions, you're going to do 3/5 times 2/5. You're going to multiply across. So 3 times 2 is 6. 5 times 5 is 25. And then you're going to make sure that you can't simplify it. So this one is already simplified. It can't go any lower because 6 and 25 do not share any numbers that they can be divided by. So we're done with that one. But sometimes we have something that looks like this. So instead of just multiplying across, we first have to turn them into improper fractions. So to do that, we're going to take the denominator times the whole number plus the numerator. So 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13 over 5. And then this one is 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7 over 5. Now we're going to do 13 times 7, which is 91 over 25. And then we always have to convert improper fractions to a mixed number. So you're going to do 25 right here, and 91 is going to go in here. And then you're going to say, how many times does 25 go into 91? 3. 3 times 25 is 75, and then you subtract. The remainder is 16. So the 3 becomes our whole number, the remainder becomes our numerator, and the denominator stays the same. So our denominator was 25. And then you check to make sure, does 16 and 25, does it share any number that it could be divided by? No, it does not. So it's 3 and 16 25ths. To divide fractions, you rewrite the first fraction as it is, you change your division to a multiplication, you flip the second fraction, and then you multiply across. Now we have to change this to a mixed number. 5 goes into 12 2 times. 5 times 2 is 10, and our remainder is 2. We put that as our numerator, and it's over the denominator, so it's 2 and 2/5. If we have a mixed number like this, you would first turn it into an improper fraction and then do the same exact thing that you did here. To change a number to a decimal, like this, you can either turn it into a 10 or a 100. This cannot get turned into a 10 because 4 times nothing is 10, but 4 times something is 100. So what is it that you would change your 4 into? You'd have to multiply it by 25, and anything you do to the denominator, you do to the numerator. 25 times 3 is 75 over 100. And now we can change it to a decimal, and we can change it to a percent. Same thing. So what you would do is, to change it to a percent, you would take your decimal and you would move it over 2 spots to the right, and it becomes a percent. And then if you had the opposite thing to do, if you had 75%, you would put a decimal at the end, and you'd move it 2 over to the left, and your decimal goes there. So it would be 0.75. Now, once in a while, you have something that happens, and it is that you can't change the denominator into a 10 or a 100, like 2/3. What you do there is you put the denominator here, you put the numerator here. So denominator is 3 and the numerator is 2. How many times does 3 go into 2? It does not. So you put a decimal here, add a 0. 3 goes into 26 times. 6 times 3 is 18. And it's just going to keep being a 6. So the answer is 0.666666. And we don't have to write all that out. We just do 0.67 and we round it. Or sometimes you just do 0.66 and you put a line over it.